All right, we got our first coaching hire of this new cycle. And as we know, what we've seen from the 49ers is a lot of coaches leaving and or getting relieved of their duties. But we now have our first kind of backfill because as we know, James Craig, the assistant offensive line coach for the San Francisco 49ers, was hired by the Raiders as their offensive line coach. And the 49ers kind of make a swap and they go out and get the Raiders' former assistant offensive line coach and bring him into the same role. The 49ers go out and have hired Cameron Clemmons to a similar role. Clemmons has spent 4 years in the NFL, all with the Raiders. He started out as a quality control coach in 2020 and was the team's assistant offensive line he was the team's assistant offensive line coach for the last 3 to 4 seasons. So he does have a lot of experience in the NFL coaching offensive line. Obviously, Josh Jacobs has had career years running behind that Raiders offensive line and done some really big things. But also, if you even go back to college, he's coached guys like Trey Smith, obviously with the Chiefs, and he's became a solid pro. Tackle Wanya Morris and Darnell Wright with Tennessee. So he's been around some good players. He's been around some guys, and he's been able to have some success not only in the NFL but in college as working with offensive line. He's also worked with tight ends as well with the Raiders. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits in with Chris Forster because Chris Forster will still be the 49ers' primary offensive line coach. And so he will fit in and kind of backfill that spot left by James Craig. And so the San Francisco 49ers start the hiring process, start bringing guys in. And we got our first one. Now, obviously, we got to get a passing game coordinator, a defensive coordinator. They lost Anthony Lynn, who was a running back coach and assistant head coach. But again, don't forget Bobby Turner is still around, who is the primary running back coach. So it'll be interesting to see how the 49ers go about filling those needs. But the biggest one is defensive coordinator. We're waiting and seeing who it's going to be. And there's some big names out there and some names that some people don't want to see. So it's going to be absolutely fascinating to see what the San Francisco 49ers and Kyle Shanahan actually do with the defensive coordinator. Is it going to be a big home run splash like Bill Belichick or Mike Vrabel? Could it be someone that 49er fans couldn't even envision being their defensive coordinator, like Pete Carroll? Or could it be someone that so far has been probably the most unpopular choice so far in Brandon Staley? It'll be very interesting to see where the 49ers ultimately land on this one. But offensive line coach, I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with the 49ers offensive line right now and wanted to see some changes there. Well, the 49ers go out, they get their assistant offensive line coach, and now we got to see what's going to happen at the DC spot and who's going to come in and be the passing game coordinator. Kyle Shanahan has been creative in the past. It would be interesting, too, to see if maybe Brian Griese got the promotion to pass game coordinator. Obviously, he's been the 49ers quarterback coach for a couple years, has had a lot of success, obviously coaching Brock Purdy. And could he be a guy that is an internal hire to be the pass game coordinator? But as you guys know, if you're either a pass game or run game coordinator for Kyle Shanahan, there's a very strong likelihood that you can find yourself as an offensive coordinator not too long after accepting that role. So it's a pro and a con, right? Brian Griese's been a great addition to the staff, but if you make him the pass game coordinator, there's a good chance he's probably going to get hired as an offensive coordinator the following year. So it's one of those things. It's like, do we keep him as a quarterback coach or how do we manage that? But it'll be very interesting to see, again, what the 49ers ultimately do in this scenario. So let me know what you guys think about the first move. What defensive coordinators do you want to see come in here? Also, what do you think about that potential idea of Brian Griese getting elevated into the pass game coordinator? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.